A new article from Business Insider seems to be good news for some bachelors. Some single men are actually benefiting from the so-called male loneliness epidemic. Nice guys who have basic social skills and a job seem to have more romantic options than ever, especially on dating apps. But with a seemingly dwindling pool of eligible men, most women are having the opposite dating experience. So for more on this, I want to bring in Business Insider senior correspondent Amanda Hoover to talk more about this. And Amanda, you open your story up by describing a dating experience you had with a man that seemed to be going great until you saw his apartment and it wasn't what you expected. Tell us about that and how it inspired you to write this story.
Yeah, this was last summer. Met a guy, nice guy, good job, fun to hang out with, all of that, went on a couple of dates. But ultimately, when I saw his apartment, I saw that he kind of had a futon in several pieces that he had to put together when I arrived. He had like a light bulb hanging from the ceiling that was a little interrogation room vibe. And then I think, what really resonates in this story for a lot of people was the kind of this like shirt cut into pieces as a curtain. And it was just clear to me that, the basics that most adults do to maintain an inviting living space, these weren't things that were being prioritized here.
Gotcha. Well, and so look, the takeaway here is that for guys, it doesn't have to be that hard. But I mean, you say if dating is a numbers game, the math isn't adding up. And I'm curious, I mean, what exactly do you mean by that?
Yeah, it's definitely something that I think a lot of women that I spoke to felt. But also we see it in the data. There are more women going to college and getting advanced degrees than men are. Women are more likely to talk to their close friends about really deep and meaningful things in their lives, while men are maybe more likely to talk about events in the news. So we see this disconnect happening where women are looking for certain things and there aren't enough men, that are kind of like them. If a woman's gone to college, she might want a man who's gone to college and works in a similar field or has similar aspirations to be an equal partner. And the data just shows that women are kind of excelling in a lot of areas as they've become more independent and able to work. They're not really willing to settle, and the men aren't necessarily keeping pace in a lot of these metrics.
Well, and I'm curious, I mean, what are some of the surprising things that stood out to you about the current state of dating for both men and women that you talked to?
Yeah, I think one of the things that was the most surprising was I spoke to a lot of people that were more in their 30s or early 40s. If you're in your 20s and you're dating, maybe some of this resonates with you, but that's also a time when maybe not as many people are looking for a serious relationship. So what I found is that the men I spoke to who are doing quite well, either dating casually while they're looking for a serious relationship, maybe trying both, they said that they're having a lot of fun, whether it's using dating apps, meeting people through friends, meeting people in public. And the women I spoke to are not having fun. They say that dating used to be fun in their 20s. And this was really surprising for some of the men that these women aren't having fun. And the women feel really frustrated. They feel like it's hard to find somebody that checks off the boxes that they want. And there's just this disconnect happening.
Mm. Well, I think it's a fascinating piece, and you got a couple of laughs in the newsroom, just kind of going through some of these anecdotes. But I do think it's actually going to help a lot of people. So, Business Insider senior correspondent Amanda Hoover, thank you so much.
Thank you.